Hey you, it's CovertGo2, and we're going to do a talkie video today. It's time for a chat about the channel, what's been going on with me, and the future of the channel, especially when it comes to Commander, a very hot button issue in the community as Commander continues to take over Magic the Gathering, be not just the most played format, but now the most focused on format, it feels, by Wizards of the Coast. And what that means for me, a Magic Arena player for the last several years, and one of the more watched Magic Arena players in the world. It doesn't feel like Commander is going to be on Arena anytime soon, so what are we going to do with that? About over a month ago now, I guess, I made a video talking about how I wasn't going to be around much, so I wasn't going to be streaming on Twitch, and that definitely came to pass. I was not around much. The last month has been absolutely crazy. I've been traveling a lot, and I've made a lot of content, a good amount of which has been released now. You might have seen me in the pre-release, or maybe you came to visit me at Command Fest Orlando. Thank you. You're cool. It was really cool to meet so many people, and doing the pre-release in Victoria, Canada was really cool. And yesterday, it's not the final shoe, I guess, to drop, but it's one of the big ones, the one that I had to keep a secret. That was very hard to keep a secret. I worked with the Command Zone on an episode of X Returns, and yep, that's me. That's the angry face there. Talia Vess, another content creator up here in the corner, and Jimmy and Josh playing a game of EDH, Commander, Elder Dragon Highlander. Kind of still surreal that this actually happened. Through it all, if you know Commander, you know Jimmy and Josh in the Command Zone. They are basically really carrying a flag, for the format. They have been a big part of its growth. I don't think that Commander would be where it is today without the high production quality and just kind of joy that they brought to the game for the last, it's been about a decade, right? So many years. So getting to work with them on making some Commander content, absolutely exciting, mind-blowing, very, very amazing. There are a few other videos that I can't discuss yet, but I do hope that you'll check out, whether you're a Commander player or not, I do hope that you will check out this game, and maybe you will get interested in Commander, because to kind of get to it, I think everybody should at least look into Commander. Now, there are many complaints and many different issues with Commander that people bring up when told that they would probably enjoy and should try Commander. A lot of them do come down to a playgroup. It's very important to have the right playgroup. Maybe I'll make a video someday about finding a playgroup and getting shared values for a game so that you guys can all have a good experience. I will say from personal experience that going to your local game store on Commander night and playing with some people isn't usually a thing that solves the issue. I think that I know when I wanted to play Magic and I went to Friday Night Magic and I threw down and played Standard, I would win some, I'd lose some, but I'd feel like I learned something and I got my competitive itch scratched and it fed my addiction to Magic. When you go to Commander Night, the experience can be wildly different from different game store to different game store and from pod to pod, and that is a challenge for the format because it's not usually about how you play, whether you win or lose, but it's usually about who you play with. So it's a very different thing. Do not judge the format completely on your experience at a local store game night. That I will say. All right, but anyway, back to the subject. I'm rambling a little. I've wanted to make this video for a while, and I haven't known exactly what to say. And one thing I can say is I've been a Commander player for about 2 years, and those who don't know, you probably do know, but if you're watching this channel, you probably know, but I have a Commander channel, CovertGoCrew, and on that channel, we post Commander gameplay that I make with my friends at my local game store. It's a very fun show that I really enjoy, and I plan to continue working on that. Part of the benefits of going on a show like the Command Zone and going on a show like Loading Ready Run is I learn a lot about the production of live paper Magic content, something you don't learn from making a lot of arena videos. And we're going to be upgrading some things with the worst possible Commander show. I have invested a good amount of money to making the show kind of stick around for the foreseeable future, as long as the cast wants to do it, as long as the editors want to do it. So this should be around for a while, and a weekly show, hopefully, that you guys can continue to enjoy, and you can continue to join me on the Commander journey. But that kind of brings us to the main YouTube channel, the big one, the one I am known for. It's a Magic Arena YouTube channel, always has been, and always has been a best of one standard channel for the most part, with some small exceptions. But those who follow me closely and pay attention in the Discord and maybe read some of my posts and things I say, by the way, you can join that Discord. It's free, link in the description. And there are channels like Ask CGB where you can post questions and things like that. I hope you will all join. But yeah, if you follow me closely in the Discord and hear what I have to say, you know that my heart really hasn't been with standard for a little while. And it's been much more, I spend much less time trying to figure out standard than I do building my commander decks. I get a lot of joy from building the commander decks and also working on the other decks that are on the show. Blake, Shay, Ben, they do work on their own decks. They, for the most part, build their own decks. But I've been trying to help also guide the production to make games that are fun. And I find this very rewarding. It makes me very happy. I also build my wife's commander decks, and she plays some, and that's very rewarding. It's a very different experience from Magic Arena, which is all 1v1 and solo. And I will say that Magic Arena, when you're trying to really figure out this game, and maybe you get invested in this game because you think you can be good at this game, or you desire to be good at this game, Magic Arena in the latter is excellent. You get what you put in. You can absolutely master the best of one format of standard. You can know all of the popular decks, and you can build decks or get really good at piloting a deck, and you can grind your way up to mythic, and it's a great rewarding accomplishment, especially the first time or two that you do it. Maybe the first time you do it with your pet deck, it's wonderful. The next time you do it with something you built yourself instead of a net deck, you know, that's wonderful. Is it 4 years? I think it's over 4 years into this now. Mythic nearly every single month. I think there have been like 2 months in that time I haven't hit Mythic. And you just have to do it again every month. And I think it's a natural progression for myself, and I think it will be a natural progression for my viewers. I know I get a lot of comments, like I don't play Arena anymore, but I still watch your stuff, that eventually you did it. You did the thing, and you have a few options. You can get into formats like Historic and Explorer. These don't work for me. They just don't. For me, it's like all the things that annoyed me that rotated out of standard or are still in standard just cranked up to 11, even more redundant, even more degenerate. I don't like it. Another option is to get into best of 3 in competitive play. I had that period in my life. I'm very happy to be away from it. It's not for me. If it is for you, that is good. I wish you the best of luck. I hope that you will win many, many things. And if I got you into Magic, shout me out when you're world champ. You know, that would mean a lot. That would be amazing. But for me, I've taken that journey. I'm over the competitive journey. It's not very exciting to me. I like producing content. I like making you guys smile. I like making you guys laugh. And things like nothing does that on a scale like this show. This show is so well made. It's better than anything I can produce by myself with Arena. And Josh and Jimmy at the Command Zone have an amazing team that makes all this happen. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you really should. And just reaching that many people and making that many people smile, like just entertaining that many people is what really hits me. So that's what I want to do. I want to do more things like that. So am I going to stop playing Magic Arena Best of One to focus on Commander? I am confident the day will come when I will switch to a full-time Commander player and content creator. I think that day is inevitable. But in the words of Aragorn, it is not this day. I have a great, tremendous affection for all of you who have supported me for so long. I will continue to make Best of One Arena content as long as I can find inspiration, spark, and joy in making it. So the channel isn't changing soon, but I do think, you know, I will try to do it right. I don't think the day will come where I just snap and stop making videos, much the way that I ended the streak. If I do end my time as an Arena daily video creator, I will try to do it the right way. Announce a retirement date, do some goodbyes, try to make something special for all of you. But I'm not ready to do that right now. I still appreciate you guys a lot, and I want to keep entertaining you, and I know that that's a lot of what you subscribe to the channel for. And just because I'm not spending as much time on Standard doesn't mean I don't still find joy in Standard. Anybody who's seen Atali Resolve lately on my channel knows that I'm still having a pretty good time, and I think I can still show you guys a good time. So it's going to continue. But what is that all actually to say? Well, a few things. A few things are going to change. First of all, these sets are like all about Commander now. You notice, like, I'm reading these March of the Machines cards, and this is the way that Standard set reviews used to go. You look at a card, you think about it in Standard, and you say, this probably won't be playable in Standard. So it won't see play anywhere but in Limited. And like 1 out of like 20 cards, you're like, this could be a Standard card. That was normal. That was absolutely normal. Now that hasn't changed a ton. As we continue to read all these cards, we're like, not for Standard, not for Standard. But the new vocabulary is Commander card. And the frustrating thing about it is I'm reading so many cards and I'm thinking about them in a Standard context, right? So I'm like, nope, unplayable, nope, unplayable, bad, trash, unplayable. But in the back of my head, I'm like, ooh, but that's a sweet commander, or that would be great in this commander deck, or that would be great in this commander deck. And that's just way more fun to talk about, the possibilities for a card besides the bulk rare bin, which is part of what I love about Commander. So many cards find homes that didn't have homes elsewhere. So the set reviews have always been a Standard first mentality. Reading the new cards, doing set reviews for this channel, I might move to a Commander first mentality because it's just more fun and interesting to talk about. And then, you know, if a card looks like it will be good in Standard, I will spend a few minutes talking about it in Standard. But I don't like starting every card review with, this card is bad in Standard. Ooh, but Commander, you know, I don't like that transition. I would rather read a card, think about it for the format it's probably honestly meant for and designed for, and share some of the awesome possibilities of it and share the hype of a card when possible. And a lot of people will probably find that surprising because it does seem like people who review sets like me are just always like, that card's trash, that card's bad. But it's just because we're so conditioned that what makes a card good in Standard is so narrow. But Commander is so broad that so many cards can be good in so many ways. And it's just more fun to review cards for Commander. So that, I think, is going to change. I think I'm going to start looking at cards with Commander first mindset, but mentioning if a card should be good in Standard as well. So that, you might get a little vibe change on these card reviews. All right, the next part. I think there'll be more Commander-related CGB2 videos. I think I want to talk about Commander more on this channel because this is the channel where I talk about what's on my mind and what's important to me. And if it's going to be more Commander stuff, there'll probably be more Commander content over here. Hopefully you guys can enjoy it. I will always try to bring you guys along for the ride. If you hate Commander, I'm not here to just tell you what to do or change your mind. But I do think that a lot of the issues people have with Commander are not due to the format, but due to who they have or played with, or misconceptions they have from like a bad game or a few bad games, or a reputation that the format has online. Because if you pay attention to Twitter, Commander players are complaining a lot, but that's not my experience when I play Commander with people. I have a really good time most of the time. So more Commander related videos. Upgrades to the worst possible. The worst possible, hopefully we'll see some noticeable improvements coming up in the future with some investments that we've made. That will be really sweet. And the big channel change. What will change on the main CovertGoBlue channel with all those Standard videos, best of one? There will probably be more Historic Brawl. Whenever I am not feeling Standard anymore, or whenever I am feeling excited to play Historic Brawl, I think I'm just going to do it. I think Historic Brawl, as much as I love Commander and have loved Standard best of one, I think Historic Brawl is the perfect format. It's a mix of both. I get the anonymity of the 1v1 battle against a faceless opponent who I don't recognize. So I get to be as evil and toxic and nasty as I want to be and get the win, without having to worry about the social contract and being nice to people that commanders sometimes bring. But I get the deck diversity, and I get the diversity of experience of commander. A deck of 100 card singleton produces so many different kind of gameplay decisions, both in deck building and within the game itself. It's awesome. It's really awesome. So I'm very, very excited to play more Historic Brawl. And like I said, Historic, Explorer, those things aren't for me. So when Lord of the Rings comes out this summer as the newest set, I mean, unless you guys wanted to see Alchemy, and I don't think you do, I think it's going to be a lot of Historic Brawl. And I'm pretty excited about that. I think that Historic Brawl will be a great way to experience the Lord of the Rings set as well. And apparently there's going to be so many legendary creatures in this set that we'll have a whole summer's worth of Historic Brawl to play. Now, hopefully that doesn't tune most of you out. I try to stay spiky and best of one, the things that you might enjoy about me for Historic Brawl. And yes, I wish there was ranked. Yes, I know people concede in Historic Brawl, but it can still be a really fun experience both to watch and to play and to build decks, quite honestly. When you build a good Historic Brawl deck, you feel like you conquered a mountain. Ugh, it's great. So yeah, that's what's changing in the near future. If you want to keep up with all the things that happen, I got a few suggestions. Biggest one is to join the Discord. It's free, and there's a channel for Ask CGB where you can post questions for me. I get back to you when I can. And there is an EDH Talk channel that you can get into, and you can talk to other people about Commander, and maybe you can help find some people to give you advice on deck building or how to meet people who share your values in Commander and will play a game that you guys can all enjoy. And I think that, honestly, I think this will be the progression for a whole generation of Magic players. I think that we're seeing the beginning of it, but I think there's still a long way to go. I don't think we're at the top of what Commander can be. I think a lot of people find Magic. They try the competitive angle. This is the general human experience, to be honest. When you're young, you're trying to find your place in the world, and you're trying to show your worth, and you're trying to make an impact in the universe. And, you try to run up that hill as much as you can. So you're very competitive, and you want to be good at things, and you want to show that you can be the best. You have that ambition, right? But, you get married, you have kids, you gain perspective, you meet a lot of different people, you have different experiences. And at some point, most of us find kind of our place, the thing that makes us happy and where we kind of fit into life. And this is also a point where a lot of people go back to Magic because, as the kids get a little older and we're doing well at work and we have disposable income, we try to rediscover the things that brought us joy when we were young. So we get back into Magic. But then we go back into Magic and we don't really want to bang our head on that competitive wall. It's a grind, and there's not that same desire to prove how good we are at Magic that there was when we were younger. But we do want the deck building puzzle, the experience. We want gameplay experience, and we want social experience. We need social outlet. We are social creatures, and that's where people can discover Commander. That's kind of where I am, where I've discovered Commander, and that it just has a deeper, I think, amount of experiences possible in it. You can get social connections, you can become better at the game, you can become better as a deck builder, and you can have amazing moments that you share with your friends. And that's something Best of One Ladder doesn't offer. So anyway, ramble, what do you guys think? Don't give up on me. I'm definitely still going to make a lot of standard Best of One content until I collapse, as Eminem would say. But I think the day will come someday where it will be time to be a Commander player. So what do you think of it all? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. You're 18 minutes into my ramble. It will probably wrap up at around 19 minutes. So do leave me a comment if you stayed this long, and hit like and hit subscribe to CovertGo2. And thank you very much for all your support through everything. And watch X Returns. This is one of my most favorite games I've ever been a part of. So please watch it. Thank you. You're cool.